How the hell did the Sean Strickland thing with Sneako happen, man? Take us through that, because you were actually there. Everyone is talking all this crap and saying all this stuff. You were actually there. You actually introduced Sneako to Sean Strickland. You made that happen. You're the guy that made it happen.
Everyone trying to blame me from that. See, I didn't make that happen. I was bringing Sneako in to train with...
Well, you warned him.
I was bringing him to train with this guy, Javed Basharat, because he's a Muslim. Sneako's a Muslim. So I'm like, it'll be great marketing for one of my fighters, a really good fighter I have.
Yeah.
And then Sneako asked Sean...
Because you still train a bunch of people and coach people to this day.
Fighters, yeah. So Sneako goes, hey, Sean, will you do a podcast with me? And Sean goes, no, but I'll spar you. And Steve goes, yeah.
Oh.
And then I show up, Steve goes, I'm sparring Sean. And I go, no, you're not sparring Sean, Steve. And then he's like, no, I already agreed to it. So, so I go, fuck, all right.
So he agreed to it before you got there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bad.
You got to keep your word.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, fuck, all right.
So you had him set up to spar with this other guy?
They weren't even going to spar. They were going to train. He was going to teach him. He was going to teach him fighting. I wanted to teach him some stuff.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, you show up and he's like, oh yeah, he's going to spar Sean Strickland.
Exactly. And I'm like, fuck, bro. I guess you agreed to it, but you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah. And it's you know, I guess Strickland's defense, you did warn him like he's not going to go easy on you. He's going to fight. He's actually going to beat you.
I warned him, and Sneako went in there as a man, and he chose to.
Shout out to Sneako.
That's why people try to hate on Sean. I'm like, well, I warned Sneako. He chose to go in there.
And Sean told him beforehand, like, I'm not going to go easy on you.
No, Sean
right?
didn't tell him anything.
Well, he just said.
But I let him know that that's how Sean is. He's trying to hurt him, you know.
Yeah.
So if you agree to spar him, I think it was a dick move what Sean did. I'm not going to lie. I think he was an asshole. I would never do that. Yeah. But it is how Sean is, and you know that's what he's going to do. So I've
heard that's just what he does in all of his sparring matches. He just fights everyone. He goes hard on everybody. He doesn't care who you are.
Pros too, yeah.
I'm sorry.
He spars like that with pros too, yeah. So.
Okay. And you guys are cool. You guys have sparred many times and stuff like that.
We spar and stuff. We're cool.
Yeah.
You know, we talked shit a few times, but never I never felt like we were close to getting in a fight. Maybe like once or twice, but
yeah.
For the most part, we get along.
No, for sure. So I didn't know that. So he had already agreed to it before. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, you might.
That's my bad.
I was told you might want to rethink it, but I'm also kind of big on keeping your word.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like you shouldn't agree to it, but it's hard once you agree to something not to do it. You know.
And you had been training Sneako for a bit at this point. You had a couple sessions with him, training him, right?
Sessions.
So you're there, right? And you're kind of just watching on the outside, and you see that they're about to get in the ring and fight. Like, what's going through your mind when they're?
I knew he was to take a beat, and I knew there was no other way it was going to go. And I don't know, a lot of people didn't watch the whole thing. It's actually worth going and watching the whole thing, because for the first 3 minutes, Sean just kind of talked shit to him, punched him a little bit, let Sneako hit him a little bit, just being kind of a bully, being warned, like, I'm about to fuck you up. It's about to turn bad. And then he unloads on him. But hey, Sneako didn't get dropped.
Yeah.
Sean probably should have gone to the body. But
a lot of courage, a lot of heart.
He was headhunting. Yeah, no, I think it actually turned out better for Sneako, I think, than Sean, because he showed he didn't get knocked down. He didn't bitch and cry about it. He didn't be like, oh, I got bullied. It's like, he chose to go in there as a man, and he took his beating like a man.
Yeah, and that's, I think that's good. I think bullying is a good thing. It makes you stronger. It makes you better. I've gotten controversial takes. Oh, you think bullying is good? I think bullying keeps men honest and keeps them from doing dumb shit.
I think we need I don't want to overdo it, but yeah, I think we need more bullying. People have just gotten so ridiculous, doing just such embarrassing and dork things, and sometimes you need to get bullied to not do that.
Yeah.
We say every behavior is acceptable. No, it's not. There's a reason why we bully. There's a reason why people feel shame. Shame is one of the most strong human emotions, because maybe there's a reason why you should feel that shame, because maybe you've done something shameful,
Absolutely. So shout out to Sneako. Got to give him his flowers for, getting in the ring with a pro, and he got beat up, but it doesn't matter. That's hard. Most people wouldn't do that. A lot of people that talk shit about Sneako about that, they would never step in with a pro.
Tell those guys to go and spar Sean.
Exactly. They would never fucking do it.
Wouldn't hop in there with him
they want to sit there and fucking Monday morning quarterback on YouTube and talk shit, but it's like you would never get in the ring with him.
Exactly.
Fucking pussy.
I think it learns a lot. I think I've been a big advocate for saying for high school, they should make every year of high school, every kid's mandatory does a fight, maybe in front of the PE class, maybe in front of the whole school even. Just the training for it, and not just the training, the pressure of walking in a fight in front of people, the stress of it, the embarrassment of it. It's imagine walking in a cage in front of your entire school, knowing you got to fight another man, and match you up someone in your fight. It's not just getting hurt, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
You might get the shit beat out of you in front of we fight in front of millions of people sometimes. Millions.
It's crazy.
Imagine the stress of that we deal with.
Absolutely. Speaking of fighting in front of millions of people, recently there's been a lot of stuff and fighting going on. What do you think about the Francis fight with
I was out here traveling, so I didn't watch it. I saw he got knocked out, which sucks. But I mean, he's fighting I think Francis is one of the hardest punchers in the world, but he doesn't have the same years of experience of these boxers. So it's kind of, it's one of those things going to happen. I think it's amazing how well he did in the Fury. I saw the Fury fight. That was impressive. So I didn't see this one, so I can't have too many comments. I did see the knockout, though. But he's fighting a great fighter, heavyweights. There's a lot of knockouts at heavyweights. I think he should at least do 1 or 2 more heavyweight fights, considering how well he did in the first one.
Yeah, and his opponent, God damn it, the name is escaping me right now.
Joshua or was it,
someone in the chat's gonna sorry guys,
I don't follow boxing that close to the thing.
You know, he was very very professional about it. And you know, he was like, hey, just stay, get up, fight again.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Thank you, Chow. I'm sorry, this escaped me. I've had a long day of filming. But yeah, they were super professional about it. They hugged it out after. They were cool, and that's the way it should be, man. Super professional. None of this. You don't need to sit there and do all this promo and fuck you and your mom and all this extra shit. You can have a fantastic fight with guys that respect each other.
For the most part, even if you don't like someone, you fight them, you usually respect them after. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know if you got fights when you were younger, but usually you fight in high school, elementary school, and a lot of times you're cool after. I think that's how men solve things. It sucks so many people are shooting each other and stabbing them before, because we used to just go out there and fight and get it out, and you gain respect that way.
Yep. And you end up becoming friends with those people.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people I've gotten fights with young became good friends after.
Yeah.
And fighting in the gym, it builds that same bond ship. Like all my best friends are from, all the training. You're in there beating the hell out of each other in the ring. It makes you like, oh, I respect that guy.
Absolutely. Here, I'll read some of these chats real quick. Guys, if you got questions for Jake, go ahead and get them in, man. You got literally a multiple-time championship fighter in the house. Good friend of mine as well. We're just shooting shit, honestly. We're just turning the camera on. So you guys, these are conversations that we've had before, so you guys just listening to us chat it up. Jake, what's the hardest 1 or 2 fights you've ever had in your whole career? What made them so hard? What did you learn from them?
See, I've had one of the most some guys have padded records, especially in boxing. That's why it's not as popular. But right away I started fighting like the best dudes. So I have so many, but a couple I can throw out is GSP. Everyone knows that guy is like one of the best to ever do it. Dan Henderson was a hard one because he floored me twice in the first round, and I was able to come back after almost getting knocked out and win. Nice. I was literally seeing 2 Dan Hendersons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was that like?
But I was prepared to die that night, So I was just like, keep fighting. Even though I was about out, I was able to come back. It felt good to get dropped that hard and then come back and dominate,
Wow.
So yeah, I've been in a lot of hard fights though.
I believe
my first fight at the UFC was tough, not because I think I was a lot better than the guy, Martin Campman, but I cut. I'd been fighting 85s and I had to cut like 30 pounds in like a week. And I just felt so fatigued. So like 2 minutes in, I was totally gassed, but I was able to still push through the pain and still win the fight. No.
Wow, man. Talk about building character. Hey, man, Ramadan Kareem, I have 2 questions. One, are you fast this year? I understand you're not really into religion like that. I'm just interested in number 2. Would you say I should still go hard in the gym the same way I down it? It isn't Ramadan, considering that I don't have water to quench my thirst at the gym. Try to go after you break your fast, bro. That'd be the best way to do it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I know the people who do Ramadan, they usually go in the evening and train.
Try to go in the evening.
If you're actually doing the water part.
Or in the early morning.
If you're not drinking the water and then training, it's brutal.
Yeah.
So I've done tough. I've done, not Muslim, but I've told the friends a few times, I'm like, oh, I'll do Ramadan with you for a couple of days. And it's the water part's hard.
Yeah, that's the hard, That kills people.
It's not easy. A lot of these guys don't realize, like, if you're actually following it, it's tough.
Yeah. Question for Jake. You remember back in 2010 after you defeated Dan Henderson in Nashville? During your speech after the match, Mayhem Miller came and interrupted your speech saying, "Where's my rematch, buddy? What the hell happened? I thought you guys were cool with each other. That shit went downhill after Nick and Nate intervened. Love the Diaz brothers, though."
He was mad I fucked his bitch.
God damn. Okay, fair enough. Anubi says, shout out to the one and only Jake Shields. That new RNC is legit. Okay.
I've been in a kind of a new badass joke, so.
Jerome says, Jake, I wasn't familiar with your game, but after discovering you on Twitter, I am now a fan. Also, I agree BJJ is rarely practical for a street fight, but can you please show Myron that it works? WFNF.
Yeah, it's you have to modify it for the street fights. It can be very effective in the street fight, but don't pull your ass guard. That's why it gets a bad rep. These dumb motherfuckers trying to sit guard in a street fight, they know it is not effective, but there's very highly effective chokes on your feet you can do. So street fighting and cage fighting are totally different. People need to realize that.
Okay.
They're two arts, and unfortunately, I have a lot of experience with both. I grew up fighting way too much.
Fair enough. Dev Joe, PJ, Jake, big fan, brother. Renzo, Gracie, Brown, about myself. What are your thoughts on Dylan